welcome to another edition of Why Are You Awake? Paul Farahvar here, your host. This week we have comedian Tyler Fowler from Chicago. Check him out. Follow him on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. If you're listening to this podcast, go over to the website, youtube.com/paulfcomedy, and you can watch us enjoy each other on this podcast. Check out my upcoming dates at paulfcomedy.com. Also, check out our sponsors. Hey, gang. As some of you know, I used to be a practicing lawyer in Chicago. I no longer practice, but from time to time, I need a lawyer. And when I need a lawyer, I call my friend Scott Shapiro. Scott Shapiro has been practicing law for over 25 years in Chicago. He does it all, from workers' compensation to personal injury, employment issues, and even entertainment law and contract needs. If you need a lawyer, call my friend Scott. 312-648-8800. That's 312-648-8800. Or you can email him at scott@scottshapirolegal.com. Tell him I sent you. I like it.
Oh, in that case, turn on the third camera.
You can enjoy each other's company.
You didn't say company. You said enjoy each other.
Jury's out.
Are we live?
Oh, we're keeping this. Yeah.
Oh, we're
comedian.
I don't like that you. No, don't. The people don't want comedy. Tell them what.
Tyler Fowler joins us.
I am a comedian, but what I'm here to talk about is my work preaching the good word of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. That's what I'm doing.
That's what you look like.
What are you guys doing up?
Tyler, you have so much energy right now. I love it. It's energetic. I needed that boost right now because I'm up late, but not like this.
No,
you look like
you're an older gentleman. Well, I mean, let's call a spade, and you know spades, you're an old man. You play cards, right?
That's what my nickname was in high school.
Spade?
Yeah.
They had just invented cards. Anyway.
Tyler, you are what I call the Toyota Camry of comedy. I've told you to your face.
And if you guys have listened to Paul's podcast before, you've heard this exact interview before.
I've said that?
Yes.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. Play the tape. Someone comment below. If you listen to Singles Only, comment below. No, the people know. You can't get anything past them.
I didn't think I've ever said that out loud.
Toyota
I know
Camry.
I definitely called. I've said it to you when I brought you up
and
on stage.
And remind me again why it's a good thing.
As I was telling Justin,
right.
We were talking about you and how reliable you are and how consistent you are, not just professionally.
And foreign made.
And foreign made. You're
Imported.
the most
Imported.
Actually, Toyotas are made in America.
Oh, thank God.
I take that back. As soon as I called you a Toyota Camry and reliable comedy, I did see you have a bad set once. I was like,
no.
What? How is that possible?
I probably remember the day.
You really, I've never.
I tried very hard not to.
Well, when you host, first of all, you're an amazing host. You're always my first choice when I have to get someone.
I know. Trust me. I know. You'll never book me as a middle or a headliner. Trust me.
That's not true. I've booked you as a middle or headliner. First of all, I'm not a
emails.
booker.
Check the emails. You're right. Not you. The Shoeshine Boys.
Listen, you, as I've said on this podcast and in real life, when you're a good host, it's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
Because people want you as
you work a lot, but you stay in that position for a long time.
Yes, it takes a while. And it took me a long fucking time to stop having a certain club only use me as a host.
Sure.
But you're a great host, and you're a great comedian overall. But you did have a bad set, and I remember where we were at, but we were at a show at Zany's. I know what it was.
Go on, please. I'd love to hear it. Let's play the tape, as a matter of fact.
It wasn't a bad. You struggled. It was a rough night. I will say that. Angelo Sorokis and I was featuring for him. It was
the Greek dude,
the Greek crowd. They were foreign.
I honestly don't even remember if it was bad.
It wasn't horrible, but it was like it was.
There's a floor. I can only do so bad.
You've never. First of all, let's be clear. Of the 100 times we've had shows together, I would say you are the most consistently always performing B+, A-.
Yeah, it's all we ever talk about when I do any of your podcasts. I go, hey, it's a podcast all about how you can't sleep. You're a Toyota Camry. Is it what car are you? Is that what the sign says?
I remember saying that if I did say that on the podcast last time, then right after that I jinxed it. And you fucking bombed it. You didn't even bomb it, but I think it was.
No, what I ate was the baklava, the Greeks.
Oh boy!
I've done quite.
Talk about bombing a podcast.
I've done quite a few. I am. You know what? I'm going to be tired after this is over, so I'm carrying this whole damn show. I'll be ready for bed. Why are you awake? Not anymore. People are listening. They're all asleep. We've been on it for 2 minutes. They're already knocked out. Is that what this is? It's like ASMR. People go, why are you awake? You put on the podcast, knocked out. Is that what it is?
I heard I have a very relaxing voice. Yeah, not this one.
I'll let you know.
This one, you're super energy.
Yeah.
energy.
Sorry, guys. Hey, sorry if you're just now waking up. Tune into the podcast. The sponsors.
This is like your audition to headline.
Cocaine.
They're like, see, I can headline, guys. Look
I was
how
on
energetic I
Paul
am.
Farahvar said, "I'm a Toyota Camry. Don't you want that?"
This is you.
Did I at the Soroka show? I don't remember it going particularly poorly. If we want to talk about how everyone did, you didn't do great either. I don't know. That's what this
actually I crushed on that one.
Oh, first time for everything.
Maybe it wasn't that one. I know it was.
I believe no, because it's one of any show where it's all one group.
You'll struggle.
Not even. It's just so different. And especially a group you're not in.
Well, first of all, yeah, you definitely were not in that group. You went in there.
I'm a Toyota Camry.
Yeah, they're like
a notoriously Japanese vehicle.
Yeah, they wanted a Greek vehicle.
They did.
No such
they
thing.
wanted a Fiat or something.
That's
It's
Italian.
Well, I gotta go. I gotta get to bed. It's getting late.
This is
you know
why,
when you get
this
a
is why
real.
I hated
I think
you.
that's the first time I've ever gotten a real laugh out of you, not just a Paul laugh where you go, "That's funny." That's your favorite thing to do. You go, "That's really funny."
That's not true. I laugh all the time. You've got some great jokes.
Wow.
I haven't heard them, but I know they're.
I'm saving.
I know they're in
I'm
there.
Saving them, dude.
I know they're in there
Or
somewhere.
when all the people from the podcast do.
No, I think that.
Quit dodging the question, Paul.
What's the question?
Why are you awake?
Okay, so when I on the prior podcast I've had with you, your background was clearly is not what people would think of you. You look like you were like a straight A student, like a nerdy kid, went to like an Ivy League school or a big community, and the truth is nothing
you're a damn
further.
Idiot. You're the stupidest person. I've
Yeah,
ever met.
like you're pretty dumb.
C student, state school, even worse, state school with a direction in it. Ugh.
What school did you go to?
Western Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
The Western Illinois University.
Yeah, that's a bad school.
Oh, I loved it.
What'd you get in your ACT? We talked
Couldn't
about
tell you. Here's the thing, and you know what? That's how you know.
Brought this up on a few episodes.
That's how you know my life is going well. I couldn't tell you what I got on my ACT.
Oh,
if you
really?
still know, what did you get?
I got a 24.
Your
It was
life's
bad.
in the shitter.
No, it was bad. 24 is bad.
But why do you still remember? Let it go.
Because
Paul. It's been a few years.
Because I remember how sad I was.
When you were doing it, was it still out of, were they doing it on an abacus? What were we talking about? They had the ACT?
You had to sharpen your own pencils with
Right.
it was like the whatever.
That was the first test, is you had to make,
Scantron.
you had to fashion a pencil out of a tree.
Yeah, I
But
remember
anyone who's still, that's still a part of their personality is what they got on a standardized test, particularly in high school, get over it. That's why you're awake. Actually, they're probably all sleeping soundly right now, next to their wife and 2 children.
Spoken like a person who went to Western Illinois.
Sure is. I honestly, and it's funny because at that point in your life, and I guess there are kids who are different, who like you have it, you're much more aware. But at that point in life, a lot of us are kind of shooting from the hip. You don't really know. You're like, oh yeah, I go to college. You
That's
just
not
you pick a school. Okay.
Some of us,
when did you
had
know you
older
wanted to-
brothers
Yeah.
who were way more successful than us, and
Sure.
the curve was set to achieve.
And how's that make you feel?
It made me feel like shit.
Why
when
are
I
you
got
awake?
24. You're not the host. I asked the
when
fucking
did you
questions.
know you wanted to be a lawyer?
I always wanted to be a lawyer. That's different. We're not. Listen, I asked the questions here.
I'm
When
taking
did you-
over. This is a hostile takeover of this podcast.
When did you
This
learn?
is my condo.
When did you learn that you wanted to be a comedian?
This is. I'm sure I've told this story on one of your podcasts before, because you have a very reductive line of questioning. No, but
I don't think I've asked you this.
I've always been a big fan of comedy. I always followed comedy a lot, and I was never really. It happens twice, because I would say I was never really aware of it as a career until I moved to Chicago and I got out of college and I started doing improv and I started seeing this is like a thing you can do. And it's like, there's a classic story of Chicago performers. Like, you do improv, you like doing comedy, but you realize not only do you not get paid, you have to pay to do improv. And then you see stand-up and you go, you can make, the money isn't great, but you can make a little money doing it. They'll pay you. And it just flips it. And you go, okay, I'll do that one. But then my mom was moving out of my childhood home and found something I wrote in second grade. And they asked, this actually, you'll appreciate this. They go, what do you want to do when you grow up? That kind of classic thing. And I said, I want to be a comedian or a lawyer, because lawyers make a lot of money.
Well,
and see where I ended up.
Well, that second part is not accurate, as you can see.
Trust me, Paul. I see the
Well,
paint. I
compared
see the
to-
paint chipping in this this podcast studio.
Well, compared to a Toyota Camry, I am driving a nicer vehicle, but that's irrelevant.
I didn't come here to be insulted. That's why I'm awake.
Let's talk about when you were in high school. Were you a night owl back then? You are a night owl, clearly.
Yeah, no, it's changed.
Okay.
I take that back. I was, but not to the extent I am now. You know, I wasn't up like.
Well, you were in school, so,
Right, but also just like for the longest time I was a morning person.
really,
Yeah, in high school and I still am this
you
way.
go to bed early too.
No, but
So you
I was
just
but
wake
like
up.
I'm up.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like college.
Why'd you snap twice when you said that? Okay, I'm up.
I'm up.
Okay, just want to make sure you.
We're just doing
did
a
that.
slate. It's production, Paul. You'll learn once you've been in this business a little while and you stop hosting.
Got it.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay,
I'll send you my veils.
so you were a morning person.
I was a morning person for a really long time, like in college and high school. In high school, I would get up and get to school really early. I was always more. I think I need a lot of sleep, so I was always more productive in the morning, as opposed to someone who would like stay up late and get stuff done. I would get up early and get stuff done.
Okay.
I never pulled an all nighter. Like in college, be like, oh, I got to get this paper done. I'd be like, I got this paper done. I'm going to sleep at 7:30.
So
I'm
you
going to
can wake
wake
up
up
early.
at 3 and be up for the whole day.
That's a lot of people are like that. I wasn't, but yeah,
I
get
need it. Sleep. People who'd be like, I'm just going to stay up all night. I'd be brain dead. I need sleep. I needed a reset.
Are you still need a lot of sleep now or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Love this sleep.
So okay, so you said it changed. What changed?
I quit having a day job.
Okay.
Because even when I had a day, there was a crossover period. So I graduate college. I'm still a morning person. I'm working. I would wake up thinking about it now. Psychotic. I had a day job. I worked in advertising. I would get up and go to the gym before work.
That's insane. I hate people who
Psychotic.
do that.
And but at the time, it was my whole thing was like, then I know I've done it. I have to get it out of the
your
way.
system. Yeah, I get it.
And it was a good way to wake up and like get the dust
Sure.
off. You know, I loved it. And I did that for years. And then I started doing comedy. So I was kind of like burning the candle at both ends. And then towards the end when I was getting ready to quit my job, I was like, I'd be falling asleep in meetings. I was like falling asleep at work. And my company were so gracious about it. I worked for a startup at the time, and they were like, they couldn't have been nicer. No one was ever like, pull it together, kid. But
Were you doing this when you walked in? Like, hey, what's everyone? You're like, hey guys, what's up?
That's what we call a callback in the business. You'll
You're
learn.
welcome.
You'll learn how to execute them a little better.
You don't
but,
do them as a host. Yeah.
well, no, I'm only up there
got
for
too
the
excited.
8 minutes you give me. Yeah,
I like how all of a sudden I'm a fucking gatekeeper. You run your own fucking shows, and
I know you've been hitting me up about them
you
quite
guys,
a bit.
Well, I only hit up
I'm
for the
kidding.
one that I
I'm
want.
kidding. Come on, we're
but it's fun. But it's funny that like anytime someone asks me for a show, I'm like, no, but you could ask Tyler.
Oh, trust me,
And
I
you
know. I'm
guys do it
getting
right
emails.
back.
My inbox is full of people going, Paul Farahvar told me about this. I go,
It's a great. You guys
I'll
run
lose
great
my number.
shows. Yeah.
Where were we? Why are
Talking
you
about
awake?
advertising.
Advertising.
When they were,
yeah. So I was
they were
kind of
cool with you
burning
coming
the
in
candle
'cause-
at both ends. Now it's like I'm in a trance. You know, you go snap your fingers, and when you wake up, you'll be a headliner. You know?
Kid headlines once, and all of a sudden he wants all the headline spots. Jesus Christ, one fucking dime.
But I was not getting a lot of sleep because I would have to get up early to go to work, and then I quit my day job, and I push closer and closer to nocturnal every day because
Same.
I don't have to be up. Because it was just the amount of time I was sleeping was getting shorter because I still would get up early and go to work and like be up the whole day and then be out late doing comedy. And then I quit my job and I was like, oh, I can stay out late doing comedy and then wake up whenever and still get 8-9 hours
Right.
of sleep. And then now it just has pushed to like, I wake up later because I've been out doing shows or whatever, and then I come home from a show. I'm not tired, so I'll work then, and then I pushed closer to nocturnal every day.
Well, when you were staying up late and then doing your shows, how were you? Well, I'm sorry. Let me say that again. You said so many things in that fucking thing that I had so many questions, and now my brain overcompensated. I got to
Right.
do one of these to reset. When did you quit your job, your day job? What year?
February 2020.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yep.
I did March is when I closed my firm, March 1st, 2020.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Crazy.
And it's comedy. It's all about timing. And well, at the time
I didn't know that. I didn't
had
know you.
3 months worth. You didn't know comedy's about timing. You'll learn.
No, I didn't know that
Once
you
you're done being
you
a
went through the
MC.
same thing as me. I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
it was like I had 3 months of shows lined up. I was going, this is it. At the end of 19, I tallied up all the money I made doing stand up, and I was like, I think I can make a run at this.
Right.
It's not going to be comfortable, but I can make a run at this. And I saved up a bunch of money. I booked a ton of shows for when I was done, like the months leading after that, and I was like, we're going to take a crack at this, try it for a couple years, and if the money runs out, I can. Work's always going to be there. And 30 days to the day later, pandemic shuts down every comedy club in the world. Yeah. But honestly, it was a good stress test for me to be like, if I can make it through this year without having a job, I can make it through any year.
Right.
When there was the least amount of work, and what it forced me to do is the hardest thing for me was always writing, making time to write, finding time to write, all that. I had nothing but time to write during the pandemic.
I don't know if I said this before to you, but when we came out of the pandemic, you had improved as a comedian so much.
If you guys want to see this podcast, go to Singles Only
Did I
episode
fucking say this again?
I don't
God
know,
damn.
but it feels very familiar.
Okay. Well, I just
I'm
remember
sure we talked about this because
some of it we just
I'm
talk a lot too, dude.
yeah, we're
some of
friends.
this-
We're friends.
Well, sure he's out.
Clip it. Yes, because I feel like I've said we've had this conversation before. There were people who, let's say, roughly a 2-year kind of shutdown or year and a half shutdown. There were people who lost 3 years, and there are people who gained 3 years. And very few people stayed still. It was like you either atrophied or you got 4 years better in the amount of 2 years.
Well, I feel like I did a lot because I started working as soon as things were open up in states that were open. I was working, and I felt like I had a lead on people that waited.
Yep.
But then as soon as
all
that
came
came
back.
open, they all fucking came back.
And they were so much better than you. Yeah,
so much
just
better.
like when they stopped.
Yeah, that's why they're all headliners, and you and I are hosts.
Yeah, a couple of MCs here.
But no, so I had the similar situation where I was like, March of 2020 was the best month I had planned for my life. I literally was.
Oh, you were going to South by Southwest, weren't you?
My podcast, Singles Only, was going to be South by Southwest.
You had a
I was on
podcast called
tour.
Singles Only?
Singles Only, yeah. It's a podcast.
Check
You
it
might
out.
have done it.
Yeah.
You should have done it.
Yeah.
You did
But
one of those.
see, that was the thing. I can't remember when I heard that you were going to go to South by and it got canceled. That was what a lot of people, of course, people died. Pandemic.
That's
people,
when you knew it was
the
real.
people I really felt for were people who were like, I was on the verge of having
Yeah.
a big opportunity, and it got,
That I remember David Carter wrote, he goes, because I was so pissed that it got taken away. He's like, just know that you were in South by Southwest. That's all that matters. I'm like, it's not the same.
Not the same.
But
and
it did affect
that
everything.
can feel okay for me. No one else knows that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sucked.
The people I would have met. Yeah.
And what we were we're talking about the guests that we were gonna have for Singles Only was fucking phenomenal because you have all the best creatives
Yeah, I was
in the
available.
world.
Yeah.
No, you weren't gonna be there.
Who are you comfortable sharing? Who
Well,
were
we
you
were
looking
trying to get Liz Fair, who was going to do it, but she was uncomfortable at the time. Her memoir just came out.
She's a headliner. If you're thinking
Yeah,
about
she
somebody.
is. And then we were talking to the guy who started Hinge.
Oh, that would have been
So
cool.
we were trying to do that
would've
with
been
him.
cool.
He was going to be there. So nothing was set in stone, but we were working on that.
Yeah,
and that's how I got my premier membership for Hinge because they were like,
Really?
oh, yeah, well, let's get this started. Your
And look how it worked out for you.
Yeah, we're here. We're here. Just two.
Why are you
hosts. Are you okay? So you said that when you quit, and that was the same way too, where I was like, "Holy shit! Now I can stay up, and I still get my sleep."
Right.
And that was the best thing.
It's the best. And it took some adjusting because the pandemic, all schedules were shot
Up in the air. Yeah.
Everything was wackadoo. I was up all night sleeping.
Same.
I was pretty nocturnal at that point. But then I really settled into it once we came back to like a rhythm of working, and I was like, oh, I can just be a person who like I'm productive. I'm up by noon working during the day, then at late out working at night. Like it really took me a while. In the last year, I would say I really settled into like a schedule of being like, oh, this is my life now. This is my career.
What are your hours typically that you keep now?
Business hours.
Yeah.
It really my sleep schedule is all over the place because I do, as much as I'm a night owl, I do suffer insomnia on the occasion. So that'll throw like I'll if on a good day I'm up by like 10 or 11. And then it's like I can get a few things done before noon, maybe get a workout in before noon, and then I'm like doing some business activities during the day. Send a few emails,
right?
Cut up some clips. I'm a comedian. Check me out. And
Host.
I'll send emails to guys like the Shoe Shine Boys. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They run a bunch of really great stuff. So I'm trying to get in and get with them. I'll do all that stuff, and then by like You know, you have dinner, 5 or 6, first dinner. My favorite thing about comedy is you get second dinner. It's the best.
Oh, yeah.
So you get first dinner on the way out the door, and then it's like you're going to a show, you know, and then once I'm out, it's like how many as many spots as I can do. Show, if I can run by an open mic, whatever I can do to like make that time productive. And then I would either come home and work for an hour, do something productive because I'm juiced after your show.
Yeah.
Work for a little bit, and then
Juiced, not Jew. Just want to make sure people understood the accent. Sound like you said Jew. You're not a Jew. You're
only
still
late at night. it's a nocturnal thing.
Just want to make sure people
you
know.
might see. When I came in here
Where
like
you going
this,
with
I'll
it?
be leaving with a yarmulke. Yeah. I was trying to come up with something I'm
Juice.
comfortable leaving in on the
Just
podcast.
make sure.
Juiced. I am juiced. Juiced up after I do comedy. It turns me Jewish, which actually wouldn't they like that? Yeah, I'll be a little productive when I get home. Send a few emails. I got in a habit of like trying to write a little bit late because I try and write for an hour during the day, but I notice like I'm fresh after a show, and I'm like, let me get back in front of the computer.
I can never
a
write
little bit.
after a show. I wish I
can't
could.
write much anyway. I try it every once in a while, but what I've gotten better at recently is realizing that I don't have to. After the show's over, I can hang out. I don't have to run home.
Yeah.
And I was so it even took me all those years from like being I have to be up in the morning for something, for work or whatever else, to I've just now recently started to unlearn that, to be like, oh no, this I just got off work. Yes, it's 1:00 in the morning, but I just got off work.
This
like,
is
this
part,
is
yeah, and
part
that's
of the
part
day.
of the business too, where you can hang out and get to know people too. You always are leaving early.
Paul, this is a rerun. We've had these conversations.
We just did a show recently. We're like, I got to go. I'm like, where do you have to go? It's 1:30 in the morning.
This verbatim, this conversation was
Did you
had.
just see you did the last Singles Only podcast, I think. You might have been like
towards the end. Well, that's when I did it, and you go, "We got to call it."
This is it.
That was the best one. We got to time to wrap it up.
But
500 some episodes. We got to wrap it up.
But you are going home, and then you've unlearned that habit.
Usually, if I'm running out, I got somewhere to be. I have a life, Paul.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to maximize my time. I got another show or something else, or I try and like do something. I have friends, like regular old friends. I try and like hang out with every once in a while. But I am being better now by like it happened to me at the Laugh Factory like a month ago. It was that 51st Jokes. Did you do that?
No, I was out of time.
So it's everyone's there.
I was asked to do it. I just want to make sure.
You were asked to do the 2-minute set? Good. Yeah. What would you have done with the other minute? So everyone's there. It's a bunch of comics or everyone's hanging out. It's a great time. And I'm like, oh, I got to get out of here. Show's over. I leave. I'm walking to my car. I go, I didn't have to be anywhere.
Right.
I could have stayed there. And it's one of those things.
Right,
Again, it's taken me right, of course. It's taken me all those years, but I'm hanging out with like people I know and like chatting and having a good time. And it's taken me all that time to unlearn. Like, you don't have to race home to go to bed.
Right.
If it would be different if I had something the next day. It's like, because every once in a while, like, that's when business happens. I have a call at 9:30. I have a call at 10, which I've put a pretty hard kibosh on that kind of stuff. Someone asked me like, we got to set up a meeting. You free 10:30 on Tuesday? Nothing before noon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, there are exceptions to that, but I'm
the same way.
Yeah.
Like my bank will call me and they'll be like, "Hey, you want to do something?" I'm like, "No."
It's
I work
got
at
it
nights.
recently. I've gotten better about like the phone's on do not disturb. It's out of the room. You do not contact me. But I got a call at like 9 a.m. from like my bank or mortgage company or something, and I'm like, I'm furious.
Like how he threw that mortgage thing in there. Just want to make sure people knew he's got a house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Without chip on the walls. Yeah. Paint
Don't say
chips.
that. Oh well, we don't have walls yet.
Yeah.
We're working up there.
But you got to
Once
call.
I'm done hosting. But I got a call and I was furious because to me it's the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And I had to check myself and go, well, it is business hours. It's 9 o'clock in the morning.
But they don't.
That does feel egregiously early to be like a cold call at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's ease into the day.
Yeah. I hate that shit. And that's what sucks too, because sometimes they'll be like, we tried to reach you. Like someone, I had a check where I was cashing a check, but because there was some discrepancy, and they were or someone was trying to cash a check for my company, and they thought that it was like fraudulent.
You see how he mentioned that? He's got a company.
I got a company, yeah, no big deal. and so they're like, we tried to reach you, but after 2 hours we just couldn't, so we had to
they
cancel.
canceled it.
I was like, dude, you called me at 9.
Yeah.
I called you back at 12:15.
Right.
Like, yeah, we were worried.
The thing that gets me and it's pretty easy to shift all that stuff, later. What bothers me now, being in the life that we have, is I wish there were things that were open later.
Yeah,
The thing that has gotten me I finally just got around to, I would kill to be able to go to a car wash at 2:00 in the morning.
You can.
Where?
It's not safe, but there are car washes that are open late. I always feel weird going to them, but there's one on Fullerton.
Really?
That's 24 hours. But
Really?
yeah, I do
The same
that.
thing.
In the suburbs too.
The times when I want to go, it's like it's when I'm getting off work.
Yeah.
Everyone else gets to go when they get off work. What the hell?
Yeah.
It's stuff like that. The other thing, I look like a clown. There's a 24-hour. They're not 24 hours anymore. They're open until midnight. Jewel by my house. It used to be 24 hours. I would be going in there 2:00 in the morning. Everyone else who's in there is buying liquor, condoms, a lighter. It's like I need the one thing I don't have.
Right.
I'm in there with a full cart of produce.
Yeah.
Groceries,
I used to do that all the time.
vegetables, fruit, and it's the best because there's no line,
No one's there.
nothing. But they're looking at there's like one register open. They're looking at you. What the hell? It looks like I would roll literally a cart full of groceries. It looks like I have 8 kids at home I forgot about until just now. Like I'm like, oh, I got to feed all these kids. Like shit, you guys got Totinos or whatever? And literally everyone else in there, the guy behind me in line is like a nudie magazine and whatever else. But I like stuff like that I can get done.
Did you call
whenever.
it a nudie magazine?
Mm-hmm. You remember him?
Yeah, I call them that, but
which the idea that
that's why people think you're
they
older
still
than
sell
you are.
those at Jewel. Yeah,
Cigarettes.
well, I'm at Toyota Camry.
Yeah,
But I appreciate businesses that are open late. But even stuff like that, now they close at midnight. I miss it all. There's right down the street from my house all the time. I'm like, I'm just doing something, and I'm like, oh, I should run out and grab like something to eat or this one thing so I can cook something real quick. And then I look at the clock and go, fuck, I missed it.
Well, that's the thing. Sometimes you're doing a show, and I'm not like you where I have to do 6 shows a night anymore.
Right. Yeah.
So if
because you're not really getting booked like that.
Yeah, I'm not getting booked as much as you are. But
send me your bills.
well, I mean, I don't.
I'll tell the Shoe Shine Boys about you. I'll tell the Shoe Shine Boys.
I'm done hosting. No, I would say that like I'd be like, oh fuck, like I have so many things I can do. And I have a Target right here, but it closes at 10.
Dude.
So it's like a show
10?
gets out.
Yeah, that's the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Close at 10.
It's the worst. And I do remember that Jewel there was one on Fullerton that was the same way, or Clybourne and Fullerton, where it was 24 hours an hour.
There still are some. So if I'm in the right area, I'll do. Because where was I recently that I was like going?
Lasco.
I was doing.
For those that don't know, in Chicago.
The one that by me is right by the Comedy Clubhouse, and we do the show there late.
Right.
The Saturday show starts at 11. I went and I was like, oh, I have 4 comics until I go up. I ran to Jewel, bought a bag of groceries, and came back to the show. Because by the time the show ended. So I come into the show, and one of the comics is like making fun of me. He's like, "What, do you go buy groceries?" I go, "Yes." There's no food in my house, and they're going to be closed by the time we're done. So I
never have food in my house too, because I don't like having food in my house. Because if I do, I eat it all when I'm stressed and I can't sleep.
Right.
So the only places I can go get food are later. Like
the only question I have: why are you awake?
And you have a tell when you're about to make a joke, so it's like. I don't even want to interrupt my train of thought because I know you're going to say something.
Now, just you and I, a couple of night owls,
You're a real night owl. So some people have done this podcast and they say they are. You still are like a night owl. Some people are like, well, I used to be.
This is right now.
You have the same hours as me. We should hang out. We should go get food sometimes.
Let's not get crazy.
I mean, we don't have to talk. We'll just go work. Me and another comedian friend of mine, we'll just go to the diner and just work next to each other.
Really?
It's like, yeah, it's good. You get a lot of shit done. And also it's accountability. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you is you're up late. What are you eating?
So what I go to, well, I have Allende across the street from me, which is a great burrito place, which is awesome.
Yeah. I saw it on the way in.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And the place I always go to is the Golden Apple.
I was about to say I love
That's
that
my
place.
go-to.
Love that place.
My picture's on the wall there. No big deal.
Is it really?
It is, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's like
from
a
when
little
you were
picture.
doing music?
No, because I'm there all the time.
That's really cool,
Yeah.
actually. I love that.
But
so you're like a regular.
breakfast food. I'm a regular there. I go
And
there.
you look like you could be the manager, if we're being honest.
He's great, yeah.
Yeah.
Petros, he's a friend of mine.
I love that.
We're
That's
on first
awesome.
name basis.
So he goes, my friend Paul, bring me a
You
picture.
can't go there because they were at the comedy show where you bombed. So they were at the Greek show.
Come on.
I can't go with you. Sorry, buddy.
But you're like a regular, and they
Yeah.
go, we'll put your picture on the wall.
No, I asked to put it up.
Oh, okay, never mind.
To be fair.
You're like, no, they
But I have my
don't
own-
even know what's up, actually.
But they know I
brought it.
have a seat that if someone's in my seat.
Where
they're
do you
like,
sit?
It's in the back. I don't want people to know because they're going to start
Right.
stalking.
You're going to get... The funny thing about that place, I like that place a lot. You'll go in there. And that's the nice thing about a 24-hour diner. It's a microcosm of society, especially that one. It is the oldest people and the youngest people. Because it's like
Yes.
taxi driver, truck driver, whatever, and then
Depending
it's
on
like
what time you're there,
college
yeah.
kids who are like whacked out of their mind, been drinking or whatever.
Right.
I do.
I'm
like
there
that
by
goes on.
myself a lot, and it's fun to watch, and but you can see them like this is so sad, and you're like,
Right.
no, it's not. I went to eat with someone once, and they're like, we were eating at a diner, and they're like, oh, that guy's by himself. It's so sad. I'm like,
You're like,
by
that's me
myself
all the time.
every
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
meal.
Yeah.
People don't realize that, but
That's the nice thing about sitting at the counter at a diner. It's totally fine.
yeah,
And it's I want to watch the news is on or whatever,
Yeah.
telenovelas.
yeah.
Now you're a regular. Do you have a usual?
I just get breakfast food whenever it's an option. Whenever a
But you
restaurant
go
has-
into the Golden Apple, they go, "Oh, Paul,
No,
two
no, no.
eggs."
It depends on my server.
Over
Yeah,
easy.
they know my order.
But
I
is
change
it the
up.
same thing every time? Oh no,
No, I change it.
but it's like, okay, so breakfast, but it's like bacon and eggs, toast, or is
Sure.
it like a waffle?
That's a little personal. I don't want to get into my order, but yeah, I change it up. But it's not. It's similar to that. Let's just say
Okay.
it's very similar to that. But I do have an order there. But the problem with going there is it's a whole thing, right? When you
Right.
go there, you got to kind of be presentable because there are.
Well,
When
you're
I go
regular.
there, it's by enough comedy clubs where people come up to you after the show,
Oh.
or I used to go right after the show because I
Yeah.
go to Laugh Factory. If I do the show there, because
Go
I
to
don't
the
eat
Golden
before I
Apple.
go to a show. I go to
Yeah.
Golden Apple, and so I'd
Mm.
eat, and then people would be coming from the show,
and they'd run into you.
and they'd want to start talking to you, or other comedians who
I
are
ran.
fucked
That happened
up.
to me the other day. Saturday, I did 11:30. I closed the 11:30 at Laugh Factory, so I'm on stage at 1:00 in the morning. I went to pump gas afterwards.
Wait, as a host, you closed it?
Come on.
See what I did there? Okay, go ahead. You
I
pump
went to
gas.
pump gas afterwards, and someone at the pump next to me, they pull out in front of me, and they blocked my car. And I go, what the hell's going on? And they go, were you just at the Laugh Factory? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, oh, so are we? And I was like, did you enjoy the show? They're like, yeah. I was like, okay, good. Yeah,
They're like, we
good.
like your
I was
Toyota
like,
Camry.
Follow me on Instagram. Yeah.
Do you drive a Toyota Camry?
No. What do you think? Come on, guess.
Honda.
Schwinn. It is a Honda Civic.
That was
Yeah.
one of the two. It's probably silver too.
Close.
Black.
Blue.
Ah.
Come on.
Anyway, yeah,
This is my podcast now.
I think that yeah, it does suck, and Stephen Haas has a joke about how early birds fucking came in and ruined everything for us people. That everything opens super early.
Oh
and
yeah.
closes super.
It's
early.
ridiculous.
And it sucks.
And
Since
so,
the
like, when I
pandemic.
talk to people who have a regular life, or particularly people who like they have a job where they have to get up really early, they're like, "Oh, the market's open on the East Coast. I got to be up at 6, be at the office or
Yeah,
whatever."
it's insane.
I'm like 6 o'clock, or like I set my alarm at 5. I go, "That's the middle of the night."
Yeah,
To me, that is the. I've just gone to bed a few hours ago.
I sometimes I'm up at 5 a.m, and I remember my friends would be going to work and they're
Thinking about your regrets, or
Thinking about my regrets.
yeah,
No,
we're over here laughing and joking around. I want to get into it, Paul. Why are you awake?
Just never ends with you. I love it.
It's
I love it.
that premium Hinge membership. You're up there busy swiping, you know?
No, you can't swipe people at 5 a.m. They're going to think you're a lunatic, or they'll think you're an early bird, and you're like, oh, that's not good either.
Early bird gets a worm.
So some people are
Tapeworm.
up going to work, and the last few times where I was up so late,
Oh,
I
that
couldn't
people are
sleep.
starting their day. Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, Target's actually open.
Yep.
now.
Yeah.
It opened so early that I'm
Yep.
like, I could just wait 15 minutes and
Yep.
go get food now.
So you know what bothers me is in my neighborhood, my favorite late night joint is the Hat. You know the Hat?
Oh,
North
yeah.
Ashland? Love the Hat.
That's good food.
Oh, it's incredible.
Surprisingly good.
Everything on the menu is good.
Really?
Yes. Here, my go-to, and people clown on me constantly for this, Greek salad. Because it's like a hot dog stand kind of place. So people like you go in there, you're thinking burger,
Yeah.
hot dog, tamales. Like
They
it's
have
like
they're Greek, right? The people own it.
I'm sure. Yes, because they own the diner across the street.
Which
Hollywood
is
Grill.
annoying that they fucking change the hours on that.
This is the whole point why I brought this up. The diner used to be open 24 hours, Hollywood Grill. Very nice place. Since the pandemic, they're open 7 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Which is insane.
But here's the thing. They also own the Hat, so it costs them less money. They want everyone to go over there.
Yeah.
And the Hat is more
I didn't know
busy
that
now.
that's why.
Yeah.
That makes sense because we were like, who do you think you are
Right, a
to
diner
have
that
regular,
closes.
that think you're going to
But what bothers
compete
me
with
is
people that have regular hours.
the Hat is open, I think, till 4. I've never tried to go and it was closed. I love that place.
I didn't know it was open that
it's
late. That's
Open
great.
really late. But the diner doesn't open until 7. So there are
hours.
times when I either can't sleep or I'm awake for whatever I come off a red eye, whatever ungodly. There's no food in my house, and I just want breakfast.
Yeah.
And it's 6:00 in the morning, and I can't have breakfast.
Right.
You're a diner. 7 a.m.
That's insane.
What are we talking about?
Yeah. It's insane.
Open at noon. What are you? What?
They should. That diner should lean in. There should be diners that just lean in to know who they are, and just open late and stay late, and just be like open till 5. There's gotta
honestly,
be.
they would do better off if they opened. They're right now 7
5.
until 3. If it was instead like 3 until
7.
7, yeah, flip it. Because I
would
used
be
to go in there, and it was the same as what I was saying about Golden Apple. It was like you would have cops coming on or off their shift.
It was the best place.
Yeah, you would have construction workers, and then you would have people who are out drinking.
That was my go-to. Hollywood Grill was the best, and I'd go on dates there because I'd be like, hey. I'm gonna get off show.
Hey girl, you ever been to Hollywood?
No, I'd be like, hey, if you want to I get dinner number 2 as you call it.
I love it.
That's when
It's the best part.
That's when I eat
That's
dinner.
the best thing about
10:30,
comedy.
11.
Second dinner.
Yeah.
I do one on the way out the door, and then one.
You
one
eat
coming
right
back.
before you go on?
No, before I leave the house.
That's
Because I
still
know
like
I'm
an
going to be
hour.
out. It's like a shift. I'm going to be out. Let's see, I'm 6 p.m. I'm not going to be home till 1 a.m. You got to fuel up a little.
Oh, I guess you're doing host sets, so it's just 8 minutes, so it's not as much. But like, if you're doing like 30 minutes,
I won't eat before I go on stage.
Yeah, I need like.
And
2
that's the
hours.
hardest thing. When you do a gig on the road, you get there and they're like, "Oh, feel free to eat," and I'm like, "Absolutely not." I'm like, I'm about to go on stage,
like,
and then I have to leave.
Yeah.
I always be like, I need it to go, but then I'm like, or especially if I'm running afterwards, like, do you want to eat something? I'm like, I'd love to take it to go, but I'm not going to sit here. You know, I got somewhere to be.
Well, yeah, because you're hosting.
I got to host. You have a tell too. I haven't figured it out yet, but you have one. Can I ask you one thing? You guys fill in the joke. You know what it was.
Are you so if you're
Is
jacked
this a
up,
comedy podcast?
you're jacked up after no, it's more of a therapy session.
Okay.
You're jacked up after a show. What else are you do? Do you ever just chill out and like watch movie, or do you play? You don't look like a video game.
Not a video games guy.
Good.
Yeah, I'm tempted to be, but
Don't do it.
That's the thing. Are you a video games guy?
No, I used to be in law school, and that's why
Really?
my grades. That's why I'm no longer a lawyer. But I think.
So you tell me if I play video games, I could be a lawyer?
No, I think you'd just be you wouldn't be as productive.
There were things like that, like during the pandemic. There were things like that where my friends like, just buy an Xbox, and I was like,
no,
I should be doing other stuff with that time.
You have an addictive personality too, don't you? Weren't you an alcoholic?
That's why I keep coming back doing this. You keep burning me, and I keep coming back.
You're sober, right?
Yeah, but
soberish.
Yeah, but addictive. Like I can't. I'm not good at doing stuff a little bit.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
know.
addictive personality
I know, but I was saying it for the common people who listen to your podcast.
But don't understand what it means.
You know, the big dumb idiots who are not listening. Watch. Please watch. Go over to YouTube right now. If you're listening, go over to YouTube. Give it a watch.
I think you're Oh, maybe no. We don't really talk outside of podcasts. So maybe it is a rerun.
Paul, I'm telling you, go back and comment below. You're going to be the most comments you've ever seen on an episode. They'll go, we saw this one already. Somehow it just came out and I've seen it already.
Anyway.
They go, the Toyota Camry guy? I think you even named the episode Toyota Camry. The Toyota Camry of comedy. I think you already
call
did.
it Honda Civic now.
Great.
Now that we know that it's a blue Honda Civic.
And someone will comment, they go, no, this is the Toyota Camry. I've seen this one before.
Different guy. I've seen him host.
No, the last guy was a headliner. I don't know who this is.
Are you like, so for me.
So video games are out.
Video games are out.
Long answer.
I'll get food. I'll try to be productive, but I can't write. That's the one time I can't fucking write.
That's the other thing. And like when I have insomnia, or there's a time of the day where it's like productivity is over, but I can't sleep. Like I'm brain dead, but I can't sleep. You know, I'm not going to do anything productive, but so I'll put on a movie. I don't watch a lot of TV. I'll do a show every now and then, but like I can't commit to. You should do a podcast about dating. I can't commit to a show. I'll watch something if it's like I love Netflix has the like limited series. There's 3 or 4 episodes, 4 or 5. I can bang it out.
Those are awesome. Yeah.
Anytime someone's like, you would love Breaking Bad, I go 8 seasons. Simply cannot commit to it.
I finally watched it during the podcast. During the
podcast.
During
how
the
much
podcast.
I'm boring you? Yeah. And there are things like there's some things that I want to get around to, like Sopranos. I've heard.
I just started watching it again yesterday. Actually, it's funny you fucking said that.
A rewatch. Wow.
I never watched the first 4 seasons, I don't think, so now I'm watching it for the first time.
That's the other thing that gets me is people will say, like, you got to watch this show. First 2 seasons are a little slow, but then it really picks up. Go,
just pick
You want me to throw, but not even pick it up. You want me to throw away 10 hours of my life?
Yeah.
The show's not worth watching.
Just go into the third,
But
fourth season.
that's why I like movies. Is even if it's a really long movie, I watch it 90 minutes at a time. It's a 3-hour long movie. It's done. A 90-minute movie, you start it and you finish it same day. I don't have to be like, oh, well, I'm in the middle of this show or whatever.
I just can't sit for. If I have a 3-hour movie, especially like Oppenheimer, I still haven't seen it because I'm like, when am I going to have 3 sessions? Where
I don't want to spoil it for you, but
I do want to see it. But what
a lot of your
I know
sets.
that there's going to be a weekend where I'm doing like a show somewhere for like
Big Bomb. That's the joke I was going
for. Got it. Perfect.
Slate. Can we start soon? I know we've been doing this kind of pre-banter. Can we start soon?
You said earlier too that you write every day for an hour. Do you seem to like you? Do you set a time? You're like 3:00.
No, I wish I was better about having a consistent time. I try and do it earlier in the day. The later in the day, I'm more tired, and the best time is like middle of the day, right after a workout, because I'm not gonna fall asleep at my desk. That's how bad my jokes are. I'm writing. I'm going.
Well, I just try to do. I do to-do lists, and then I'll do everything else on the list except, and I have write on there, and I'll be like, oh, well, it's already 5:30. I gotta get ready for the show.
Same. That's why I have to prioritize it. It's got to be like the first thing,
because
I know because like when I come home in the middle of the night, I can do my laundry, I can clean the house, whatever I have to do, but I don't know that I can be mentally awake enough to write. You know.
See, I always try to get everything else off the list to do. So, and then I'm like, oh, I'll just write from 5 to. And then it's like, fuck, I have a show now. I can't do it. Yeah. That exactly today happened. I was like, the show's at 7. I'm not going to make it.
Yeah.
Then I got to do this podcast. What are we going to do? Well, wow, that was Tyler. We're out of time, but I want to keep going because I have 3 more questions I have to ask you.
Why are you awake?
Why are you awake?
Okay, go ahead, Paul. I'll let you host my podcast for a little bit.
Has there been a time where do you think there's a downside to being a night owl now that because you're coming from the advertising world where you had a job. Now, I know that you're in the,
interesting.
We're both in the
this
glory
is a
years
good question.
Of the, for once.
We're both in our golden years. Is that
well,
what you
I'm saying like we're in the golden years of us finally appreciating and leaning into the fact that this is our schedule now.
Yeah.
You were at the same time I was. Do you think that
40 minutes in, we probably got a good question?
I'm not talking about that time. I'm talking about the time to 4 years. Leaving our.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
Oh, you're trying to make a bet.
And you know me. They never work. What was the question? Oh, is there a downside?
Yeah. Is there a downside?
I could have yes, of course there are. Right.
What is the one that bothers you the most, other than stores are closed?
There's 2 very practical answers to this, and one is like the majority.
Of course, you have a practical answer. Fucking Toyota Camry, baby.
You experience this. The majority of people operate on a schedule that's different to yours. So dating is hard. Maintaining friendships is hard. Maintaining relationships with your family is hard. Of course, those are baseline things. On the flip side, I think it's a really interesting, exciting way to live life. So many the idea that like nothing good happens after 2 a.m. Arguably, some of the most interesting things happen after 2 a.m.
Agree.
That's when life happens. When especially for people who aren't like us, when you get your friends that aren't usually up at 2 a.m., the nights they are, that's the day you remember because they don't usually do it. It's out of the ordinary. So it is a very interesting time to be awake and to witness life. You're seeing people who work nights. You're seeing people get up to start their day. Or you're seeing people ending their day. It's like there is, and you have this solitude. The people who are up, there is like a camaraderie around that. You go to the diner, the 6 people who happen to be here at 3:00 in the morning, you strike up a conversation, or there's something we all have in common. You know, for as much as it takes away from your life, again, dating is hard, maintaining friendships and relationships is hard. I think it does. There's a lot of positive to it. It provides a lot to your life.
I agree with you 100%, and I think that people forget.
Let's do this cocaine and stay up tonight.
Well, it feels like you already did it. I feel like it's funny because people are like, "Doesn't it get sad?" And you're like, "No." Yeah. Because you're forgetting that I'm on the road with other people that are sometimes the funniest people in the world.
The funniest people you've ever met.
And you're sitting there at 2 a.m, smoking a cigar with someone who just had a Netflix special, and you're talking about comedy.
I told you not to mention that.
No, it's not you. Not hosting. Not hosting the Netflix
Sorry.
festival.
Oh.
This is different.
I wish.
Yeah, that's true. I would too. But it is funny. And then a couple of my friends got to experience
even when it's not even that, there's you're up at 2:00 in the morning talking to a guy who's been on the road for 40 years as a nobody.
You get to talk to
the
them.
Most interesting, a wealth of stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the best.
Mm-hmm.
And they're funny too. Like if you're fucking in this world for if you're doing comedy for 20 years, well, no, I was going to say that you got to be funny, but I've worked with people.
We've both worked with plenty of people.
I've worked with people, but I do think that for the majority of the time, even in those situations, I've worked with people that have been in the business for 20, 25 years, and I've learned from them. I mean, I've learned what I don't want in my career.
Sure,
I'm like,
100%.
I don't want to be that guy.
Yep.
Right away.
Yep.
Or I'll see the host if I'm featuring. I'm like, what he said. Don't listen to anything he said. It's the exact opposite because I get to like.
But even comedy aside, like you find yourself at 2:00 in the morning. I mean, you were played in bands for a long time, talking to someone who's a musician, talking to whoever.
Well, that was different because I think it's different now because with comedy, I'm awake, I'm alert. When I was a musician, I was a drunk.
Yeah.
And I was doing drugs, and so I don't remember 90% of my life. I mean, I would say this also. I had different priorities, right? I was a 25-year-old kid trying to get laid and have fun. Now I don't care about that. I'm not like you anymore.
Now you're
that's
an
where
old
you're
man
always
trying to get laid and have fun.
No, I don't care anymore. My dick doesn't run my life like you, Tyler. Well, yeah. Oh, you got a call.
Hello.
Speaking. Oh,
meet me at the diner, babe.
I got somewhere to go. That's probably you. You're like, oh, I got places to go. I'm like, where you got to go, Tyler? It's 1:30.
How did we get on this?
We're talking about
the good and bad. Yeah, I think you're. In either way, it's the life we've chosen, so you have to accept it, lean into it, and embrace it. And I think it's more positive than the negative. Oh, what people say about it being lonely. The solitude is nice. And it's sometimes when you want it, because you're on so much. You're at clubs, you're talking to people. When you go home and you go, not only am I alone, no one can bother me.
Right.
No one's up to call me. No one's asking me for anything. My inbox isn't being filled up. I don't have to do.
Right.
I'm done.
Yeah,
I have this
feeling.
time. The solitude is nice.
Really a pleasure having you on here. All seriousness,
this was great.
It was a great episode.
We'll do it again for a third time. What's the
guy.
podcast going to be called next?
Toyota Camry. Where can people
what
find
car
out?
are you?
Where can people find out about your upcoming shows?
I
and
am
stuff?
Tyler Fowler Comedy on Instagram. I post all my shows. I'm posting some real funny videos and some really lackluster ones too. So we'd like your follow and your likes and comments and all those things.
Such a fucking racket. The social media is just crushing us.
Is it? I hadn't heard that.
It's soul crushing.
Really?
That's one thing.
I've been really loving it.
Okay. I've seen the numbers.
Really? Because I can't look at them. That's why I'm awake.
Thank you all for listening to another edition of Why Are You
And
Awake?
watching on YouTube.
And watching. Go to sleep.
Go to sleep.
Use his.